Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to That's a Shoot, weekly episodic show where I talk about what's going on in the world of professional wrestling. Unless it's a day for predictions, and that today is that day. NXT Deadline is tomorrow, so we are predicting what's going to happen tomorrow night at NXT Deadline. Now, there will be no rapid reaction to NXT Deadline, as I will have a prior engagement, and I will probably miss. I'll probably have to come and start the thing late, and finish the PLE late, so there will be no rapid reaction. So sorry about that, but I'll maybe come next week with a review. And speaking of next week, there are only 3 That's a Shoots left in this year. This one, next week's That's a Shoot, and then this special end of the year That's a Shoot, where we talk about the WWE Awards. Things like Match of the Year, Wrestler of the Year, Superstar of the Year, things like that. We're going to do all of those, give out awards to those in the WWE that made us, enjoy, make this an enjoyable year, maybe one of the most enjoyable years of WWE's history. But all of that is for later in the upcoming weeks. Again, like I said, this week is about the predicting. So let's get to it. NXT Deadline 2023. To start off with the kickoff show match. NXT still do kickoff show matches. The WWE doesn't really do them. They did one like premium live events ago, but haven't done one really too many times. But kickoff show match is Axiom versus Nathan Frazier. Now, they've been going at it back and forth on NXT for the last couple of weeks, and I think they're gonna go out and I guess have a battle of respect match and things like that. So I don't know what's gonna come from it, but it should be a very good match. 2 guys they can work with. There's gonna be some high flying stuff, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pick Nathan Frazier to win the kickoff match, and we'll see where that goes from there. On to the main card, we got Carmelo Hayes versus Lexis King. Now, this is all started back to Trick Williams was taken out several weeks ago. I think during he has some type of thing when he was taken out. Now, all the things have looked back to see that it was Carmelo Hayes who took out Trick Williams, because he didn't want his best buddy to get to become more of a player than he has become, right? But then Lexis King arrived, and he's talked about, kind of almost insinuated that it was him. But then there's been some NXT Anonymous stuff where it seems like that maybe it was actually, or maybe Carmelo Hayes texted Lexis King to take out Trick Williams. So this match, we're going to see how this match goes. I think this is an easy Carmelo Hayes win, but I don't think this ends the story. I think we're going to find out very, very soon what did happen to Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, and as we head towards WrestleMania season, I think this could be one of those ones where if they do it right, they could play it out until Stand and Deliver, and maybe have that Trick Williams Carmelo Hayes match there. But we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But I think Carmelo Hayes easily wins this match. In a steel cage match, Roseanne Perez takes on Kiana James. Now, these two have been battling for the last couple months. It has seemed like this just goes back to one of those tournament matches for like the titles or the Battle Royal or something like that. So these two have been fighting for a pretty good while, I believe. And 2 women who lost their shot at being in the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. Unfortunately, it has not worked for them, and it stepped over the line this past week as they fought and both went through tables and both had to be medically evaluated, and then for some reason Ava Raine somehow is not like Shawn Michaels sidekick, I guess, had this match made for tomorrow night. This still getting match between Roxanne Perez and Kiana James. Now, I think this would be a good match for Kiana James to win, because I think that this is someone that she needs, some stuff too. I think she can be a very good, player in this women's division. I think she needs a chance to, have a little push, and I think this would be a good chance for her. But I get the feeling that they're gonna go to Roxanne Perez. She's the, even though she's like not the champion and she's not in the Iron Survivor match, I think they probably still see her as maybe like the darling of NXT and like the future of like the women's division, so to speak. So, I really think Kiana James should be the one to win this. I'm gonna pick Roxanne Perez, but I hope I'm pleasantly surprised and Kiana James does win this. For the North American Championship, this is Dominic Mysterio defending against Dragon Lee, which was supposed to be Wesley. But Wesley came out this past Wednesday and said that he's been having some issues with filling in his legs and he got a back injury. So he couldn't wrestle at NXT North American Championship. Now, I have not looked to see whether or not this is a shoot injury or if this is a work. But if this is a shoot, then my thoughts go out to Wesley, and I hope that whatever, if he does need back surgery, I hope it all goes well, and I hope things get right very soon for Wesley, and I hope that he can continue his wrestling career. That being said, as on to the match. Now, Dragon Lee and Dominic Mysterio had a fantastic match on Monday Night Raw about a month or so ago, and they could do the same thing here tonight. This is a match that could probably steal the show tomorrow night at Deadline. Now the thing is that what are they gonna do? There's there was a good possibility they could have put the title back on Wesley, because they were supposed to go to Mustafa Ali. He got released, unfortunately, so they kept it on Dominic Mysterio. And then it's like they probably are going to keep it on Dominic for as long as they need to with the Judgment Day and everything like that. So I really do think that the NXT North American Championship is going to be, going to be done about what's going to happen on the main roster with the Judgment Day and things like that. Right now, they still have all of the gold, and I think that's what's going to happen. But we'll see. I do think there are bigger things ahead for Dominic Mysterio in the future than just the North American Championship. But I don't think this is the time for him to lose it. Not yet. I expect a great match, and Dave done some great stuff with Dragon Lee on SmackDown, and he's got a match with Santos Escobar, coming up tonight. As part of that United States Championship tournament. Excuse me. I think this goes to Dominic Mysterio. I don't think he retains the North American Championship. Probably due to the fact for JD Madonna, Rhea Ripley, and other members of the Judgment Day. Next is the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge match. Tiffany Stratton, Lash Legend, Blair Davenport, Kelani Jordan, and Fallon Henry. Now, if you don't know what this is, if you don't remember from last year, this is kind of like that championship scramble match that they used to do, but it's a different type of match. What it is that it's 25 minutes. I think do they come out I think two people start the match, and then every 5 minutes another person comes out, and then for like the last 10 minutes, all of them are out there doing their thing. So I think that's how the match goes. So two is going to start, and then whoever has the most falls by the end of the 25 minutes will become the #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship. I think there are some good people here. Kelani Jordan, I think, is someone that they do seem to want to push. They had her doing stuff with Dana Brooke, and Dana Brooke then got released, but they've kept her going. She did not win the breakout tournament, so that went to Lola Vice. But I do think that I do think that she's still one of the standouts that they want to push. Tiffany Stratton, I think, is still the goddess of NXT, and I think that if I think that it was Lyra Valkyria still being the NXT champion, that makes a lot of sense to have Lyra Valkyria and Tiffany Stratton be the champion, be a championship match, whether that's at Stand and Deliver or sometime beforehand. And then you got you got Blair Davenport. I think is another one that is good. I think would be a good guess, and a good fight for Lyra Valkyria. And then you have the two, I think, underdogs. Fallon Henry, I think she's good in the ring, and she's very talented. But I almost see her as more of that she works with the boys. She's not necessarily in the ring, but the guys Briggs and Jensen. She's kind of like their guys, and she's part of that act, and I kind of see that as more of a thing where she's more a part of that act than she is a single girl, and maybe all of that can change anything like that. But I'm going to see her more like that, so I don't know if she will win. And then there's Lash Legend, who I'm not sure about her, although she had an incredible spot this past week, Wednesday on NXT, where she picked up the big Otis and slammed him and everything like that, and got a holy shit from the crowd. So she is a big, strong person, and she can do part anyway. Her friend in Metaphor was a part of the Women's Breakout Championship. So now they have her in this. So maybe that's just like this, but I kind of think that right now they're gonna they had her, Becky beat her, and then Becky and her had the match at the last PLE, NXT PLE, and they had a Extreme Rules match, and they did some good stuff, and they've kind of put people ahead of her. But I think it's time to go back to her. So I'm going to say the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge winner will be Tiffany Stratton. The Men's Iron Survivor Challenge is up next. We've got Dijak, Trick Williams, Josh Briggs, Braun Breaker, and Tyler Bate. Now, I have been saying that, when it comes to the Creed brothers, that this is going to be, they're a good tag team, but the star is going to be Julius Creed. He's got a great look. He is super athletic. He's the one doing all those super athletic moves and, doing suplexes and kipping up and and he's going to be a superstar. And he's going to be the one that's going to be like the future champion. And I think Brutus can still have a way out. He's not going to be Marty Jannetty, so to speak, and that's something that we need to start calling the second, the non-superstar of the team, the Jannetty, but that's neither here nor there. So when Josh Briggs was selected to be in this match, I was very shocked. When I thought about it, it's almost like the same way with these guys, Briggs and Jensen. Josh Briggs has the look. I think Josh Briggs is the more charismatic of the two guys. Probably the better worker. Although both of them are not, both of them kind of like more like the brawling style workers, and knowing who Jensen's father is. I don't know if Josh Briggs. I don't know who his father is. I can't remember, but I think they're both sons of superstar fathers. But yeah, if they were going to split that team up, Briggs and Jensen, Josh Briggs would probably be the one that they would try to, make the star first. So, to have him in this Iron Survivor Challenge was surprising, but I understand it. We've got Braun Breaker, and you know what Braun Breaker is. He's the future of the WWE, and so he's right now I think right now him, Tyler Bate also maybe, Carmelo Hayes. These guys are just waiting until NXT Stand and Deliver, waiting until the next draft, so that they can get called up, to the main roster and start their dream there. And what they're probably doing also right now on the main roster, they're probably, the reason why they haven't been called up is they don't have anything for them, so they're going to keep them down in NXT until they have something for them to do. Tyler Bate, I think, is a big strong boy, and I think he's got a great shot at this as well. We've got Dijak, truly amazing. We know what he does in the ring, and then there's Trick Williams, probably someone who has stepped out of the shadow of Melo and become a truly if he's a good worker and become a true star. Whoop That Trick is something that it's something that people can chant, it's something that people can do, and then of course you got Booker T on the mic saying, yeah, well, all right, so he's doing all of this thing. So to me, this is something that I think any one of these five, I would not be surprised to win, and that's even with Josh Briggs. And that being said, I kind of think maybe along the same way, if they're looking for the main match to happen at NXT Stand and Deliver, then there's probably only two ways to go. It's either Trick Williams or Braun Breaker. Now we know what Trick Williams can do, and I don't know. I'll talk about the NXT Championship match later. But if they were to put the title on Baron Corbin, it would make sense to then have Trick Williams and do Baron Corbin at there, so that Trick Williams can win the title there. Although again, like I said earlier, they probably could also do Trick and Carmelo. So that's probably the real way they're gonna go. Dijak and Ilya had a last man standing match that was pretty awesome. Several premium line events ago. Tyler Bate is a great match, and him and Ilya would have a great match, or him and Corbin would be a good match too. But again, I think this is Braun Breaker, and I think what they're gonna do here, because we all thought that when Braun dropped the title to Melo, he was doing the favors, but he has stayed in NXT, and I think what now is gonna happen, he's gonna get his one last chance to win the NXT Championship from Ilya Dragunov, and I think he's gonna do the favors to Ilya, and he's gonna end up then going on to the main roster. So I think even though I'd love to see Trick and I'd love to see a lot of these other guys win it, I think the smart money here is on Braun Breaker winning the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge. And finally, the NXT Championship match between Ilya Dragunov and Baron Corbin. Another match that can go both ways. I could see Baron Corbin winning this match, right? Winning this match, becoming NXT champion, and holding it until Stand and Deliver for someone like Trick Williams, or maybe someone else on the roster, right? Or maybe even giving it back to Ilya Dragunov. Who knows? Like I also see Ilya Dragunov, maybe you want to give Ilya Dragunov a good run, because Ilya Dragunov is another one that some people are talking about. Well, why isn't he's been in NXT Europe, now in NXT long enough to the point where maybe it's like where he should not be on the main roster doing things. So you can have it either way. This way it goes. But I seem to think that the way they're going to do it is this is going to be probably Ilya's night. And that's not to say that Baron Corbin at some point doesn't deserve a championship run, division run. As much as I want, there to be one champion, the good thing about having two championships is that you can give some people, a championship run, how long or short it may be, just as a thank you. And I think you may see that in 2024 coming up in WWE. So, but anyway, having that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and say Ilya Dragunov is the retains against Baron Corbin, and but I think he's going to be one hell of a fight, and I can't wait to watch it. So to recap, Nathan Frazier is going to win the kickoff show against Axiom. Carmelo Hayes will defeat Lexis King. Roseanne Perez will beat Kiana James in the steel cage match. Dominic Mysterio will retain his NXT North American title against Dragon Lee. Tiffany Stratton will win the women's Iron Survivor Challenge. Braun Breaker is going to win the men's Iron Survivor Challenge. And Ilya Dragunov will retain his NXT championship. But there we have it. Those are my picks for deadline. Again, tomorrow night there will be no rapid reaction as there usually is. I have some prior engagement, and I won't be able to, catch it in time. That being said, I will, like I said, maybe next week I'll give my thoughts on deadline. Doing next week's statue shoot, but there will be no rapid reaction tomorrow night, unfortunately. Speaking of the next week's statue shoot, that's the penultimate statue shoot. As we've only got 3 left. This one, next week's, and then on December 23rd, a special edition of that shoot. It's the WWE Awards, where I give out the awards to the best of WWE, Wrestler of the Year, Superstar of the Year, Match of the Year, Rivalry of the Year, anything else. So make sure you're going to be here for that. It should be a great award show this year. With WWE having so much good stuff. I'm trying to figure out now, how am I going to do Match of the Year? Because how I've done Match of the Year is that I have nominated the nominations for Match of the Year are the matches that have gone 5.5 stars and above on my rating scale. 5.5 stars and above. And we have at least a dozen 5.5 star matches that have happened this year in WWE. So and I don't know what necessarily I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna just nominate all of them, or if I'm gonna have to make the decision to bring it down to like five nominees, and then just pick from that 5 the best one. So we'll have to wait and see, but that should be very interesting and fun. And as this is also the last Premium Live event this year for WWE, this is also the last event that I will be predicting this year. My predictions have gone great. I'm 75-33 this year on the year. So with 7 matches to go, we'll see if I can maybe hit 80. Well, it would be the 3rd year. I've been keeping track of my predictions for the last 4 years: 2020, 2021, 2022, and of course this year 2023. And in 2020 I was 88-33. In 2021 I was 91-31. Last year I was 79-36, and this year I'm 75-33. So if I get 5 predictions right, I will have gone over 80 correct predictions in the past, 3 of the last 4 years. That is something I think no other YouTuber out there is doing. And I don't know if there's many out there that's keeping their stats like I am, but I'm almost certain nobody is predicting, wrestling or WWE like I am. So that's going to be something saying. Hopefully we'll get 5. We'll see. Again, we'll talk about, there'll be no rapid reaction, but we'll talk about that next week on That to Shoot. Now, post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Give me your predictions for NXT Deadline tomorrow night. Let me know what you think about my predictions. And let me know about anything else that you just want to let me know about the WWE NXT Deadline or anything like that. Still got thoughts on CM Punk? Post them down in the comment section as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. It is your boy, AJTRIP, signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.